went inside to go like get a shot together or something. So she and I are like arm in arm walking across the bar, and all of a sudden I feel the back of my skirt flip up. And I was like, I was kind of drunk, and so I was a little confused for a second. But then all of a sudden Carrie was like, did that girl just lift up the back of your skirt? And we turned around, and there is this like this girl with like long frazzly hair and like cargo pants and like
oh god
and this like really like too tight t-shirt, and she was just
flip-flops, I'm sure.
Probably.
Probably.
Which I'm wearing right now.
No, but cargo
whatever.
pants, flip-flops,
It was
and tight shirts, you know.
that's the whole. And she was kind of like standing there leering at me. And so Carrie, and like I said, I was still sort of stunned. And so Carrie was like, did you just lift up your skirt? And she was like, yeah, but whatever. I was giving her a compliment. And Carrie's like, what? No. You don't lift up somebody's skirt. And they kind of get into it, and I'm just still sort of in shock a little bit.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where like her friends come over and they're like, oh, you know, we're sorry, she's really drunk. And Carrie's just like, no, you don't lift up somebody's skirt. And this girl is
Can I
like,
call you right back?
this girl, she goes
Okay.
from being like, oh, I was giving her a compliment, just appreciate it, I'm giving her a compliment, to being like, well, you know, she shouldn't wear a mini skirt like that if she doesn't want people like, you know. And finally, and I'm standing here this whole time just sort of like processing everything. And it goes on for a minute, and finally she's like, well, she was asking for it wearing a skirt that short.
Oh no.
And the phrase asking for it kind of clicks in my head, and I sort of snap out of it, and Carrie kind of goes to say something, and then I look at her, and she's just wearing the tightest shirt with these just, it's like squeezing, so like, you know, just everything's all like rolling, and she had these huge, saggy boots, just huge, and so she's like, she's asking for it wearing a skirt that short, and the next thing I knew, my arm shot out. And I grabbed a just giant, massive handful of one of her big, saggy boobs. Just grabbed it as hard as I could and just yanked it to the side like that. And I was like, well, you're asking for it wearing a shirt that tight.
This is so great. This is fantastic. I couldn't ask for anything more.
I didn't think this out, so I just did it, and then I kind of like stood there. And she kind of stood there looking at me frozen, and I stood there looking at her, and then suddenly her nostrils flared like a bull, and she just lunged at me. And was like, ah! But her friends grabbed her and like pulled her back, and they were like, we're really sorry, and like dragged her out of the bar. And I was just like,
Dude, that is the most amazing.
I was standing there like, did I just do that? And so Carrie and I are sort of in a daze, and we walk out the back door. And my boyfriend at the time was still out there, and he was a great guy. He was kind of like a big, like